This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Hello, podcast friends.
Hello, everyone.
We're on holidays.
Yes,
I've been
we
loving
are.
it.
Outsourced our podcast to
We
other
have.
people.
Oh, this one's a great one. This woman does not want to be here doing this right now. She's our executive producer. Her name is Amy Carter. Hello, Amy.
Good morning.
You just
Or
love-
whatever day, whatever time it is you're listening.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Talking on it.
Anytime.
Yes.
Anytime.
Now, Amy, we're gonna try to put together a lot of celebrities and interviews we've done, which have been a bit of fun throughout the year. You have to deal with these people.
That's right. So I just thought I would do some more work
For no extra
love
money?
for the love of the show
For no
and for
extra
you
money.
guys,
Yeah.
and put together
Yep.
some of my favourite chats.
That's why we pay
Great.
the big bucks, everybody.
That's right, everyone. Download this and all of our podcasts to make Amy no extra money.
The musical Anne Juliet is coming to Crown Theatre from the 30th of December to January 21st. Ticketmaster.com.au for tickets. But one of the stars playing Juliet's nurse Angelique is none other than Australian icon Casey Donovan, who's in the house. Casey, welcome.
Thank
you so much for having me.
That's
I
enough
love
for
that.
that
I'm not
introduction.
wrong. I'm not wrong.
Now, Casey, I like things like Anne Juliet because they're taking a story that we know and they're doing a slight twist on it. Let everyone know what the twist is.
Well, the twist is Juliet decides to not unalive herself and start again.
There you go.
And we do that through the music of Max Martin and the story of David West Reed. And it is the most joyous, fun show. There is something for everyone. And, you know, we get to sing.
Agreed. So I
music.
saw your second last night in Melbourne.
Stop it.
And it was... It is. I've never seen a show before. I've seen a lot of these sorts of shows. I've never seen one where every single person in the audience is up and dancing by the end of it.
It's a joy.
Yeah, and there's a Backstreet Boys number that brings the house down. That honestly, everybody's just. It is joy. It is joy.
You
There's
know
no
what?
doubt
I'm
about it.
imagining everyone dancing. I can just also imagine one miserable person sitting and going, I paid good money for these seats.
Case, Max Martin, what songs has he written?
So, the songbook of Max Martin is next level. So we've got Britney Spears, Oops, I Did It Again, Effing Perfect. I'm just rattling off all the ones
Yeah.
from the show. Celine Dion. There are so many bangers.
these.
Katy Perry, Ariana
How much
Grande.
money would he have if he wrote all those?
It's not the money, it's the songbook. You
Yes.
look in
Yeah.
our program and it flicks to the back and it's like all of Max's songs that aren't in this show, and I think it's 2 pages worth of songs. So he's been writing for years and years and years.
It's amazing.
And just a genuine, kind human who is the absolute rock star. I think he got up at the opening night of Melbourne and he's like, yeah, let's just effing party. And it's
Yeah,
like,
right.
cool, all right,
Yes.
to the
All
theatre
right,
crowd.
okay.
Great, all right.
Think about
yeah.
it, though. And you know music.
Yeah.
They say, you know, if you've got a really great just one song, you can basically do really well off the royalties of that if you wrote it.
Yeah.
Let alone writing all of the great songs.
Yeah.
I love
And
him
having
already.
amazing entertainers perform them night
Yeah.
after night.
Yeah, can I talk about you?
Sure.
When you first came on the scene, I was at your Australian Idol finale at the Opera House. So I was freshly out of Big Brother.
Right.
And we were invited there, and I was there with Gretel Colleen.
Mm-hmm.
That was next level. That like
17.
the crowd outside of there, they stopped the whole thing down. Like it was like rock star Beatles sort of stuff.
Yeah, it was next level. Nothing in my life has ever been the same from that moment.
And you
but,
were a child.
I was 16.
It was
I was in high school.
And I remember you had the chain going
Yeah,
from
the
your nose,
chain,
and I just thought, what has she done that's everything? Because
Yeah.
I was voting for you. I was voting
Bless
for
your
you over
heart.
Anthony in a
Aw.
heartbeat. But it was amazing. But then, so then you had that, you know, and then Casey Donovan was Casey Donovan.
Yeah.
And then you went quiet for a little bit and went
did.
off the grid,
Yeah.
and then you came back. When you're off the grid,
Yes.
this is my question. When you are Casey Donovan and everyone sees you as Casey Donovan, but you're not being on stage Casey Donovan in real life, what's that like?
It's interesting. I still get it to this day. I get that look of, where do I know her from?
Yeah.
Yeah,
School?
right.
Yeah.
Has she, you know, where do I know this face? But when I went off the grid, I went and got a job. I started working medical reception because
But
I was
people
like,
then knew they were working with Casey Donovan.
yeah, which was really interesting. But, you know, after a few minutes, you're like, oh, she's just as cracked as everyone else. She's fine. But, you know, it was interesting. You know, people are giving me their stool and urine samples going,
Yes. Yeah.
just literally giving this to Casey Donovan, which was interesting and fun.
I just had Casey Donovan a cup of piss.
Yeah, literally. But, you know, that's the thing. Life goes on. And I think when you're going through these reality shows, and especially in today's world, you know, we didn't have social media. We had forums.
We had
I don't even think kids know what a forum is, where people would literally go on a website and talk absolute crap about everyone in that show, which is kind of social media these days.
Yeah,
just
big time.
find it. But, you know, I think it's about having a support network around you to go, hey, this is reality. Here's what's going to happen. You don't have all the bells and whistles. To be an amazing performer, you need to work at your craft and just have fun and don't fall into the way of, you know, all of these things have to be glitz and glamour. Like, the more authentic you are, the more people are going to respect you and love you and just support you, you know, minus the few people that write nasty things. But
so, Case, did you stop singing in through that period?
I stopped singing. I got dropped by the label. I was at a standstill, but I was also, I think, 18 at that point. So I was still going
It's a good time to live your life.
So I was still going through all the motions and, you know, having to sit with myself and go, okay, you've won a major TV show, but now you're working medical reception. So I had to, you know, just rearrange.
Reconcile that. Yeah.
Do you remember your winner's single?
Listen with your heart.
Do you sing that ever?
For many, many years, I took it out of my set.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? This song isn't about me. It's for people that had related to that song and that it meant something more to them than it did to me in that moment. So I put it back in the show and I just put my own spin on it and gave it a new...
Made it the way you wanted to sound?
Yeah, just gave it a new reason and a new love. So I didn't resent it.
That's a very healthy place to be, though.
Look,
That's
you know,
great.
It's taken many years to get there, but
It's the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We've got Casey Donovan, the star, one of the stars. You and Millsy really are the real big draw cards, both Australian Idol alumni. This is for Anne Juliet, which is headed our way. It kicks off December 30.
The one thing we know, Millsy's been doing a lot of stage shows for a long time. So you getting involved in stage shows more recently, Case, a few.
Look, in the last kind of, 10-ish years, I've kind of just crept into them, which has been an amazing thing. It's let me put it this way. It's so lovely to not be Casey Donovan and be a character and get to work with so many amazing humans and getting to work with great casts and directors and creatives and just learn about musical theatre. I'm not trained in musical theatre.
Because it's different. And you've got to be in the right place is the other thing. When you're performing as yourself, you can just stand there, you can do what you want, everybody else moves around you. But they're relying on you to be in a certain place at a certain time.
And say a certain line, which I had a lot of stress over for many, many years. But, you know, it's a team sport. And you go in there and you all warm up together. And, you know, I love that in Anne Juliet, we stand around before the show. Well, once we finish our warm up and we all stand, we all take a deep breath in and we all kind of do this thing where we click together. No one knows when we're going to click. It just, we take a breath and we feel each other's energy.
Can you do it with me?
Sure. So you take a breath. So you go
breaths.
and you raise your hands. You go.
Yeah. And then
you. Obviously not in sync. But you know what? We'll work on it. Yeah, okay, ready?
Ready?
Yep.
Oh, that's like slow jazz.
Yeah, right. That's really good, Nate.
So what you're
Michael
saying
Jackson-y.
is that when you do it, you're all in sync just automatically because your energy's matched.
But, you know,
But
we
also,
all
what's this backstage bullshit that I just did with you? Like, oh my God, actors, hey? Oh my God,
the thespians. Yes, the thespians.
Stagecraft.
But I love being a part of a community like musical theatre. It's somewhere for people to go and to be accepted and to be loved and to work on your craft, and I love that. And through Anne Juliet, we're bringing so many new people to the theatre, young kids that have never thought about coming to a theatre show. They're like, oh, I like Ariana Grande, I like Katy Perry, I like Britney, and they come and they learn about what the Backstreet Boys are.
Yes.
You know, we're talking to a generation that are 20 years behind.
And also what Shakespeare is.
What is Shakespeare? And, you know, it still
in
has
an understanding way.
In a very understanding way. You know, the nurse never had a name until, you know, David West Reed wrote that her name is now Angelique. And she gets her love story, and there's so many, every story relates to someone's life, whether you're in the LGBTQI plus community or you're, you know, a mature person looking for love or wanting to reconnect. There is something for everyone, and you get to watch this beautiful show through comedy, wit, and Amy La Palmer and Rob Mills as Anne and Will are amazing. And, of course, the star of the show, Lorinda May Marypoor, who plays Juliet. She is such an amazing performer and singer, and the way that she can hold the crowd and just her energy is, it's it's next level. And I love walking out on stage and just knowing that it is so safe with her, and to watch, a young First Nations person standing there being proud and just entertaining and taking it all in her stride it makes me so proud. I feel like one of those aunts, which I guess I am now.
When people are handing out cool names, she got a good one. What was her name again?
Lorinda May Marypaul.
No, that is so cool.
That's
not
amazing.
in a novel.
But when you come and watch the show, you will literally be mesmerised, not only by her, but also the entire cast.
Yeah.
It's just...
And she's a bit of a pocket rocket too, isn't she? And you think, how can that voice come out of that tiny little person?
Every day. And, she puts 120% into each show. I walked past her mirror one day and it said 80% is 100. And I went back to myself and went, oh, yeah, I've got to remember that. But
80% what do you mean? Is 100.
So when you're doing 8 shows a week, you're literally an elite performer.
Yes.
And you're like in the Olympics, because to redo a show, one show is never the same. So you're going in there, you have to also think about, we're doing 8 shows a week. We also have lives. Amy's a new mother with I think he's now 15 months or a year. We all have lives outside. I do my podcast. I do all these other things. So
on the
by
Nova
the time
Network,
we get on the Nova Network, the space, if you want to, mindfulness, no bullshit.
Yeah.
But we're all doing our lives, and then we go in and perform every night to the best of our ability. So when you're watching Lorinda go on stage and sing all of these banger songs in all of the ranges of her vocals, it's a feat. And it's just amazing to watch all of these young people coming through and to be there and all be there together and know that we're in this for the long haul.
But what does 80% to 100
So 80% to 100 means you can't do 100 every night.
Oh, so 80%
is 100.
It's 100, yes.
Because if you're doing 100 every night, you're doing 2 shows a week.
So,
Because
we should write that here. We should write this on the wall.
Well, never flying a
as if we're going to reach.
You want a text? Get her a text.
Elite Sport, they're not doing it every day, Sean.
No, they're certainly not. But someone rolls that out, you'll be like, "There, mate."
Imagine if you had to play footy 8 days a week.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
It's very similar, excellent.
Yeah, and you're doing 80 minutes a game, and we're doing, it's that thing of, and you've got to keep your voice healthy.
That's right.
Can't, go out and, drink till your heart's content. There are certain rules and regulations you have to put on yourself. And, my partner loves a chat. She is the chattiest chatter that I've ever met. And I'm like, babe, I can't talk for 2 hours.
Even.
At the start of the day, I'm not supposed to talk. I've got to get my straw. Like, I've got to steam.
And she's like, that's fine. I'm talking.
Yeah, so, and...
But it's like sometimes when we finish this show, the last thing you want to do is
We're
talk.
not talking.
And luckily, Natalie and I go home to people, to no one at our homes. Sean goes home to 400 children and his wife.
And my wife will tell all these guys a million times over how boring I am normally.
We get fun, Sean. It's like, it's not that much fun. You're not missing much.
Jesus.
And Juliet, it's a cracking show. Take it from me. You will love it. It's at Crown Theatre from the 30th of December through to January 21st. So it's a limited season.
It's very limited.
Snap your tickets up from ticketmaster.com.au. See Casey playing Angelique. Angelique gets a bit of action too, by the way. Yes. And Millsy as William Shakespeare. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.